There are two fixtures I care about more than any other in the Premier League, and that's Tottenham and Scumchester United. This is everything. Welcome to my preview for Manchester United versus Forest. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to the preview for Scumchester United, Scamchester United, Varchester United. Call them what you want. I've got a list a mile long versus the one true red team, Forest. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. Coming up in today's video, I'll talk you through the predicted team for Forest. What has to change, because a lot does. Nuno, if you're listening, get this one right. Man City's forgiven if you get this right on Saturday. This is the world to me, Nuno. Listen to me. By the way, if you'd like to buy me a coffee, you can scan that QR code. That's not just for Nuno, that's for all you guys as well. Thank you to everyone who's bought me all that caffeine, not nicotine. It was a long, long day yesterday. Okay, I'm being serious, guys. Look, I know I was a bit of a negative Nelly after the Man City game because I'm starting to see things that I have been seeing, but I've been pushing to the back of my mind. And as you guys know, I'm never wrong. I'm never wrong on football stuff. 60% of the time I'm right every single time. And I'm starting to see things that worry me, and changes need to happen. And I've got to say, the biggest thing that's worrying me is Nuno's post-match and pre-match interview ahead of this Man U game, where he saw positives in that game that, for God's sake, man, I really couldn't see myself. But maybe it's just because I was angry. So I've calmed down a little bit. But this one is huge. Half my mates are Spurs. Half the people I hate are Spurs fans. Half my other mates are Man U fans. Most of the people I hate are Man U fans as well. I just hate them with such a passion. I want nothing for that team. I never want to see them lift a trophy. I want them relegated. I want them to play Derby next season. That would be my dream match. We would do a watch along for Manchester United versus Derby in the Championship. What a great day that would be. A cheating scum. Anyway, what I've decided to do, before you guys all start asking me about the team news and everything, I'm doing this video before I know the team news. Now, I won't be sharing the team news either. I've been thinking about it, talking to a few people as well. And I don't want to risk anything on this game. I don't want Man U or that scammering manager, whatever he's called, to even have a 0.1% chance of watching this video and knowing what Forest are going to line up. So don't read anything into the team news that I predict here to what the team is going to be. This one's coming from the heart, man. This means the world. Okay? So let's get into this. Talk about injuries. We'll talk about what Nuno said, and we'll talk about my predicted team. And then if we have time, we'll talk about that scummy team as well. In terms of injuries, Nuno says basically there's nothing new. They're kind of assessing who can start, who can't, etc. Trying to manage these 3 games in a week. I don't like this rhetoric. I'll be honest with you. If Forest, let's play devil's advocate, can make it into Europe next season, then they would have to be playing midweek pretty much every other week. It would be 3 games a week. I don't like this narrative that footballers, poor little footballers earning between 60 and 100 grand, can't play football 3 times a week. Then find another profession. Just serious. For me, it's a non-negotiable. Even if you're not fully fit, you find a way. When you put that shirt on, it has to mean everything to you. That's why you're getting paid the money you're getting paid. So in terms of who's fit or not, it seems like we have the same squad. So you can basically say Sangare and Danilo will be the 2 out. And to be honest, they're the 2 we desperately need back in. I want to see some changes, and I want to see changes in formation. Manchester United will play a 3-4-3. That's Amorim/Scamarim's preferred formation. His issue is he doesn't have the personnel at Man U that fit into that formation, and he's too pig-headed to change his mind until he can get a transfer window to bring the correct players in. So while they're shoehorning these players in, we have to take advantage. Now, there are many issues with the 3-4-3 formation. The biggest one being how little men you have in the middle of that park. I play this formation in my under 14s. I know it inside out. And the biggest issue with it is that it's a two-man midfield. And if you haven't got the two right men in that midfield, you can get overrun. And that's exactly what Nuno needs to do. He either has to switch the formation to a 4-3-3 to pack out that midfield, to overload that midfield in our favour, or he has to switch to a back three, putting 5 into the midfield, or at least matching Man U's numbers in there. And I think he's going to do it. He cannot stick with this 4-2-3-1, especially away from home. It's not working. He's been found out in terms of his tactics. So let me show you a couple of options that I think Nuno will go with this weekend. Let's get over to the team sheet. Okay, so let's have a look at the team that started previously for Forest. It was in this 4-2-3-1, and there were so many crap performances out there. Look, I get it. Some of you are saying I'm going too far. I get that, but it's up to me how I want to react. I'm not going to be one of these YouTubers that comes on here and just flowers down how I'm feeling. If it's happy, if it's negative, if it's angry, whatever, you'll always get a natural reaction for me. And right now, it's more frustration than anger, because I just feel that we're so much better than where we are and what we're performing on the pitch. But at the same time, I get it. I get that I'm probably going over the top, but it's because of this match. It's because I need this win at Old Trafford. It's got to the stage now where, honestly, I feel like there's only 3 or 4 players I want to keep. And that's Murillo, Milenkovic, Einar, and probably Anderson. The rest of them better damn well buck up, because they're not showing me enough right now. And I want changes. Now, I think that this Yates and Dominguez partnership is terrible right now, and I'd actually drop them both. They're not good enough as a two. Problem is, we're probably going to have to play at least one of them. My first point of call here, well, let me get rid of the players that I don't want to see play, and then we'll work in reverse there. Elanga, goes without saying, he needs to be dropped. Why didn't we take the 50 million for him? Jota, he's like here. And Morgan Gibbs-White, his shooting is just atrocious. Chris Wood, man, he's a Man City fan. You know how Forest tweeted, VAR is Luton? Freaking Wood is Manchester, man, it felt like yesterday. So maybe he'll be motivated against Man U. I'll keep him on for now. Moreno, gone. Nah, I'm done with him. I'm making wholesale changes. This is going to be drastic. These are the only players. Sells, I'd probably switch him for Miguel, but he's not really at that nuclear pissing me off level just yet. Just yet. He could get there though. He could. So forget Sells for now. These are the 4-ish players that I would keep. Just the back 3 really. Wood is out of necessity right now. I feel he's coming out of form. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move Murillo into the midfield, and I'm going to bring Morato in. In fact, Morato hasn't pissed me off yet, so he's in my good graces still. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch Einar back to left back. I know, a little out there. And then I'm going to bring De Silva in at right back. Now, there's a reason for this. Manchester United have one outstanding player, and I hate to admit it, but he is good. And that's Ahmed Johnson, man. Pearl River plunge settings himself. Ahmed Johnson. He's been decent. So we need our best player up against him. If you shut Ahmed down, you shut Manchester United down. They're that crap at the moment. So Einar needs to take out Ahmed Johnson. He'll be coming down that right-hand channel for them, either in a wing-back position or in a right mid position, something like that. I need my man Einar to sort him out. That's the first switch I'd make. Moreno, for me, send him back to Villa in the mood I'm in. Nico Williams isn't strong enough to play left back, nor would I put him at right back. That's what I'm going with back 4. In the midfield, I'm going Murillo, plus someone. But actually, no, Anderson. Anderson's not on my hit list yet. That's my 2 there. In fact, I'm going to split these. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put Murillo in the middle, Anderson on the left side of the 3, and Morgan Gibbs-White in the 8 next to him. And Morgan Gibbs-White is on there out of necessity. In fact, I want him to play deeper so he can't shoot. And that's the midfield 3 for me. Then I'm going to go Wood up front. And then by process of elimination, I'm going to put Sosa on the left-hand side. It's about time he got a start. No idea if he's going to be good enough or not. But who else is there right now in form? And on the right-hand side, I'm going to toss a coin. And one side will say Elanga. The other side will say Jota. If it lands on Elanga, I'm going to toss the coin again until it lands on Jota. Jota, I ain't that sold on either. So that's probably the team I would go for. Now, the advantage to this team is that you can turn this into a back 3 or a back 5 by simply dropping Murillo in between Morato and Milenkovic, and having Morgan Gibbs-White and Anderson playing as the double 8, if you like, in the middle. Now, there's this new narrative going around that Anderson and Morgan Gibbs-White can't play on the pitch at the same time together. I can't be asked with those weird conversations. If people want to have those, that's up to them, but that's just stupidity. And then you can release when you're attacking. What I want to see in the attack is Einar pushing Ahmed Johnson back, Silva pushing up here, creating more of a 5 in the midfield, which gives us the numbers. And then what that will allow, if Forest can pin Man United back, let Morgan Gibbs-White float into the 10, but don't let him shoot. Like if he shoots, sub him off, and then bring Anderson further forward, and then allow this to turn into a back 3 with Murillo stepping up. It works. Trust me, this works right now. This is the wholesale change we need. I'm trying to convince myself of it. I really am. But that's probably the team I go with. Do you guys agree with it or not? Am I overreacting? Actually, don't answer that. I know what you lot will say in the comments. But yeah, this is the team I'm going with. A 4-3-3. Danilo, Sangare, please come back. All right, I don't want to do it, but let's talk about the scummy team Manchester United. They've cheated their ways to so many titles. I could write a dossier on the amount of corruption they have produced, allegedly. You also have to say allegedly, over the years. Now, as I mentioned, they're playing this 3-4-3 system. They think they now have the second coming with this Asrim manager, and they think that he is going to be their new savior. They said this about Ten Hag when he came in. They said this about Mourinho. You all remember Ollie at the wheel? This is just rinse and repeat from Manchester United. They're already gaslighting their fan base about him, and because they beat Everton, he is now the greatest manager since Sir Alex Ferguson in their eyes. This is the entitlement of this idiotic fan base that I cannot stand, and I need us to put them in their place on Saturday. Now, they have a couple of injury issues. They've been rotating players. Amorim still doesn't know his best starting 11. And in fact, Nuno himself admitted to the fact that he isn't quite sure which way Asrim is going to go when it comes to this match and players. Obviously, the 3-4-3 stays intact. Will he pay Trashford up front? Will he pay that zit-faced, pizza-faced Højlund up front? Or will he go for a Garnacho and a Sideshow Bob combo in Xerxes? Who knows? But whatever way happens, this battle is won in the midfield. If Forest overrun them in the midfield, then we can and should get a result out of them. They are fragile. They haven't established his identity. Yes, there are signs of life within there, but I can't look past my hatred for them, and I need a win. In my head, this finishes 0-0 because both teams have been really poor at scoring goals. Exclude their Everton match. Forest and Man United are pretty much in the lower echelons in terms of goals scored in the Premier League this season. So 0-0 to me sounds reasonable, sounds logical, sounds objective. But I can't predict that. I have to predict Forest to win. And I have to predict us to win big. I want 3-0. Give me 3-0. Give me those Stuart Pearce, Collymore settings and go one extra goal from that and concede one less. And I go back to being a happy clapper, because right now I am seriously frustrated with what I'm seeing on the pitch. Now, we've got a Grumpy Old Reds coming up tonight where there's going to be a lot of arguments. I can tell you that now from everything that's been sent to me message-wise and conversation-wise with the boys. So make sure you tune in. We're kicking off early at 7:30 because it's going to be a long one. You're not going to want to miss it. That's tonight at 7:30. Get your score predictions in the comments down below. We'll see you for Grumpy Old Reds tonight. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. See you later on. Come on, you Reds.